What is going on, friends? Sean Don coming back with a technical analysis. Here we have Jay slinging some hammer. Not sure where he's from, didn't really give me much information, but, you know, a hammer throw is a hammer throw is a hammer throw. So, yeah. Before we get into that, I just want to let you guys know that if you're interested in any online coaching or technical analysis or anything that you might need, go check out my website, gripandrip.co. Also, merch drop. So go get yourself a t-shirt, get yourself a hat, rep the brand. Just live the lifestyle, all right? Also kind of helps your boy out, but really it's more about the sport of track and field, the sport of throwing as a whole, more so than it is me. I want to do something good for the community, all right? So, yeah, gripandrip.co, coaching, merch, whatever you might need, go check it out, all right? So, let's get into it, Jay. Let's take a look. That's really loud. Let me turn that down a little bit. 4-turn, the other video is saying it was a 3-turn. We're going to do the 4-turn because that's usually where most people want to go if they're already doing 3 turns. And I think there's a little bit more to talk about in this video. A little further away, so it's hard to quite, you know, see everything. You get a nice good view of the orbit, though. You see you're falling off a little bit towards the end. Probably a sign of impatience, pulling that right shoulder. And, I mean, you're left-handed, but that's obvious, but pulling that right shoulder a little bit. So let's break it down. In the winds. All right, facing the back of the circle. Turning back to your left pretty well. Reaching out to your left pretty well. Pretty patient, facing the back circle again. And then you turn back. I like how you turn your head to the left. That's very good. You're setting up. You see you're starting to shift. Use this left leg to shift. I'm going to get that wrong at least 15 times over the course of the video, just so you know. But your left leg's pushing. You're shifting over to your right side. Setting it up well. Stable left side. A little pulley right from the start. If you see this this right shoulder pulling back, which is like, so this is a good thing. Yeah, I like this. I like that your right side's pulling backwards, shifting backwards, working backwards to 180, right? And you're pretty patient. Your right hip kind of comes out of the way. You're staying back, staying centered as the ball goes around your right. I really like this. This is pretty solid. Getting that left hip to chase the hammer to the high point. That's very good. You catch. I think this is a thing that you could change right here. Like I said, it's a little bit zoomed out, a little bit far away to exactly split details, but it looks like as the single sport goes on in this first single sport, it looks like, one, your right knee does not drop at all. Okay, so you see your right knee stays at this angle, stays at that angle, stays at that angle, stays at that angle, and you're kind of just rotating around it. All right, I'd like to see a little bit more direction in that right knee. All right, I'd like to see it. We should go back a few frames. As the ball goes to 180, think about dropping your right knee down towards the ground, towards 180, in this direction, so towards this giant light ball. You're dropping your left knee down towards the ground, just to get a little bit more bend in your knee. You get a little bit lower to the ground, and then with that, you're going to be able to ground this left foot a little bit sooner. And then additionally, with that left foot grounding, it looks like you try to kind of pre-turn your left leg, in a sense, or left foot, kind of, where it looks like I said, and rather than stepping straight to the ball. So like you're kind of stepping around with that left foot. I want you to step straight to the ball. So when the ball's there, I want you to think about stepping forwards towards it, because if you think about stepping around, you're actually going to take longer to get your foot down, whereas if you just step straight towards the ball, you catch a little bit sooner, you'll catch with a little bit more separation, your hips will be facing the ball a little bit more, and there'll be more connection. Whereas like right now, like I said, you pre-turn a little bit, you catch, foot's turned, and you're going to see this right side start to take off a little bit soon. Also, you see that that left foot kind of stuck on the ground where it doesn't really rotate at all. It's all right side for the first kind of quarter, first half of double support. And you can see, like I said, this left foot's on the ground. It's not really turning. It's just this right side pulling the ball around. All right, so this is, like I said, if you ground a little bit earlier with that left foot, you catch, you need to wait and be patient no matter what. Yeah, like I said, it's just this right side's going a little bit too soon. Doing a little bit too much too early. You can start to see the right side start shifting back right about there. Ball's about 45 before 0. Right side starts shifting back and pulling. All right, and this is only going to get worse kind of as the throw goes on, I bet. But otherwise, you're doing a decent job staying with it. You can see a little bit of up and down in the chest and hips there. But like left side staying with the ball pretty well. Arms look a little bit tight. You could get those arms straighter. Feel the ball grow towards the sector a little bit more. Relax the arms. And then you see We're going to have to go back manually because higher frame rate video takes longer to rewind. But I'd like to see you stay back over this back over this left foot a little bit more towards the end of double support. All right, turning, and then you're going to start to see right here, like watch where your torso goes over the next few frames. I'm going to keep my mouse there. Watch where your torso goes. All right, very dramatically over this right side. All right, that means you're not quite. I think this is a sign of not being patient enough and pulling the right side too much. So once again, this is just another symptom of that right side pulling too soon and doing a little bit too much with that right side in general. So, but with this, you have to kind of, you know, the throw's in motion, so like you can't just like change this immediately in the middle of the throw. You got to set it up better, be more patient. The entry, be more patient after the first catch, and then 2, 3, and 4 will kind of take care of themselves. But same thing here, catching, stepping around a little bit less, facing the hammer a little bit more, left or right shoulders down. That's good. And then you catch, and then same thing. This left foot is kind of stuck on the ground. All right, not really turning much, so this right side is going to pull back more. A little bit better than the previous turn, where you wait a little bit longer, but there's still a lot of tension coming across the body. You can see here, got to get that left arm straight, get the ball out in front of you a little bit more. And then you're pulling back. So you're staying back over the left side a little bit better here, I think. We'll see. Yeah, so you're a little bit more centered. But now you're starting to lose the hips a little bit because the right shoulder is pulling so much. Hard to connect the hips when the shoulder's pulling. Catch. It looks like you're leaning a little bit forwards. Decent separation before 270, or I guess in your case 90. But then same thing here. And then this one, so this is a turn where you're stepping a little bit more forwards with that left foot because you're not quite finishing the previous rotation. Like I said, the ball's not getting all the way around because you're pulling that right side pretty substantially, I guess. So you catch a little bit shallow, left foot more in the direction of the sector, right foot's going to be a little bit more towards the back of the ring, so then it's going to be hard to get your hips up into the throw, and you're going to be what I would call pitted, where like you're in this pit with this left side, so then the only way to get out of it is to pull the right side even more, which you can see gets very dramatic here. Very dramatic, coming across the body big time. You're getting your hip up into it, but it's just so far across the body. You can see the bend in this left arm. All right. And then with that, you come off a little bit early because that right side is pulling so much. And then you catch, shifting around a little bit, losing connection a little bit. The latest catch you have so far. Posture, hips could be a little bit more underneath you, and then you come through. And then same thing. The only way to keep tension at this point is to pull that right side even more, which is why you kind of fall backwards and shift over to this left side. So, yeah. Overall, pretty decent throw. Like you're doing a lot of things right. You're working your hips up into the ball. Your patience is pretty good. You're turning with the hammer pretty well. Like your left foot could be turning a little bit more, but that's splitting hairs, not a huge deal. It's mostly about what the ball is doing. And like I said, it's about getting the ball out ahead of you more in entry, getting the ball out to the right, getting the ball ahead of you. And then, like I said, outside of this pre-turn there, everything else just kind of comes down to letting the ball get a little bit more ahead of you. All right, so you want to let the ball get to about here. You don't let the ball get to about 0 until you start pulling that right side back. All right, so you're just like a few frames too early. Just got to let the ball get a little bit more head. Feel the ball get more head. It's really that simple. It's not that simple, but it is that simple. Easier said than done, but it is that simple, in my opinion. So, yeah, Jay, let me know if you have any questions. If anybody else out there would like any technical coaching, in-depth analysis, online coaching, whatever you need, go to my website, gripandrip.co, buy some merch, buy a hat, buy a shirt, buy a long sleeve, support the brand, support your boys, support the sport. Alrighty? Until next time, thank you for watching. Sean Don, signing off.